My name's Susanne Rea. I'm from Northern Australia, a place called Cairns. When I became District Polio Chair nearly 4 years ago, I wondered what I could do to make a difference to the End Polio effort. After some thought, I decided that a Facebook-based project would be best for us. We live in a really big area. So first of all, we started what we call the world's greatest meal to help end polio. The aim was to get people to be aware of the End Polio effort and also to raise funds, and that's really important as well. So basically, I'm a fundraiser. Facebook is fabulous. You can use it 24 hours a day. You can be in all the countries of the world. You can have so many friends and so many interactions. Our project has raised over $7.5 million in 75 countries, involving over 200,000 Rotarians. We have what we call meal events, and meals can be anything from a really simple coffee to an elaborate gala dinner. It doesn't matter what you do. What matters is that you take part. We started this way in Northern Australia, but we spread really quickly. Firstly, I went to England and spoke to a friend called Mukesh Malhotra, and we decided to open a Facebook group that went crazy. We were working so hard, and then we had to involve other team members. One of them is called Scott Rossi. He's the tracker in the USA, and he's absolutely important. We then had a website. The website is WGmeal.com. You can sign up on the website and report, and all the instructions are there to make your meal really important. And we put it all out on Facebook so everyone can enjoy what you're doing to help end polio. Apart from fundraising, I decided it would be fun to go and visit countries where polio is endemic or vaccines are still being given by Rotarians. First of all, I had an invitation to go to India, a fabulous fundraising tour, which also included the opportunity to take part in a national immunization day. Every Rotarian should do this because everything falls into place. You just see the children, you see everyone gathered around, you hear the sights and sounds of the country, and you give those precious drops. And it really is spine-tingling. The first time you do it, it's just amazing. Please try. In India, my favourite opportunity to end polio was to go to the train station. It was in Salem. All the Rotarians were spread out along the platform, holding the little blue carriers, and inside were the precious drops. As the train came in, whoosh! It stopped. Children were poked through the windows and out the doors, and we had to quickly deliver the drops and mark their purple pinkies. And then whoosh, the train went away. And this went on continually, like for hours. And I could hardly tear myself away. But of course I had to. And that was the most exciting moment, I think. And when I felt, yes, I am helping to end polio. But recently I've been concentrating on Pakistan. I have a couple of reasons for that. Mainly it's an endemic country, and it's also got Afghanistan to the north. Now, Afghanistan and Pakistan are separate countries, but several villages cross between the two. This means that there's quite free passage. The virus travels. It travels very easily, and no one is deliberately infecting other people. It travels in the gut, and this means that someone can unwittingly take the virus from southern Afghanistan into Pakistan, where they may be looking for work, and deposit, as people do, the virus. And then little children that are unprotected can pick it up. The biggest danger at the moment is in Afghanistan, partly because there is some civil unrest, and we all know that. In Pakistan, the effort is very, very structured. Recently, the Pakistani government has set up what they call emergency operations centres. In these places, you've got the Government of Pakistan, Rotary, Bill and Melinda Gates Technical Foundation, Gavi, representing the vaccine people, and UNICEF, of course, so important to us, and World Health, all sitting around a round table, and they're planning the NIDs. So no little child is slipping away. Every child must be vaccinated. The vaccinators are trained, and I've attended their vaccination training days. They're veering towards women as vaccinators. This is important because in Pakistani households, usually the men are off to work, and it's not appropriate to let other men come in to vaccinate the children. And I doubt if it would be in our cultures either. So women are coming to the fore, and they are improving the vaccination rate, which I've spent the last 3 years traveling the world fundraising. It's been absolutely fabulous. I've visited, I think it's 47 countries now. And the Rotarians have been great. They've been hosting me. But now I'm going to settle in Pakistan and really get involved. We're going to run polio events there. We're going to run World's Greatest Meals. We're going to do immunization days. We're going to even do immunization days where you can become involved. Apart from working in Pakistan, I visited Africa. I spent about 6 months there last year. As many of you will know, after a year of being polio-free, Nigeria also found 4 cases. This is a big tragedy, but was immediately addressed by Rotary International, sending a lot of money to help vaccinate all the children and make a ring of vaccination around Nigeria, vaccinating children in adjacent countries too. Because of migration, which is another huge issue in the polio story, we need to look at where the people are moving. I visited Zambia, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Malawi. All were hosting refugees. We tend to think about European refugees. We don't tend to think about refugees in Africa. But if you can think about the way that people move, they can be taking the virus with them. They're not necessarily taking their records. And so UNICEF and World Health have to keep vaccinating those children, or maybe even start their vaccinations again. All this is tremendously costly. So this is one of the reasons that we must keep on vaccinating in all the countries of the world, and every child needs to be vaccinated against polio, no matter where they live. The polio virus travels. It doesn't need a passport. It doesn't need a visa. And you can be anywhere, and the virus can be anywhere within 24 hours. Just think of global travel now. It makes a huge impact on what we must do to react and keep children safe from polio. I really want to encourage everyone to keep going in the eradication of polio. Rotary has been involved for 30 odd years, but we are nearly finished. Just imagine you're running a marathon. Do you stop 5 yards from the finish? No, we are at the 5-yard mark. What we need now is determination. What we need now is more money. What we need is to finish the job. Rotary has been at the forefront, and we want to take some of the credit, because truly every Rotarian in the world has taken part in some way. I would like to say how impressed I am when I travel to countries all over the world, and everyone is so interested in ending polio. It seems to be a catalyst for Rotary. We have taken this cause, and we will win the battle. We will win. Some of the things that people don't know about polio is the surveillance. Every day people are doing things like testing the sewers. Can you imagine having that job? I certainly don't want it. But they're looking for the virus. And if they should find the virus, then it's time to act in a big way. A few years ago in Sao Paulo, Brazil, polio virus was found in the sewers. This was at the time of the World Cup. So a traveller had come and deposited the virus. Rotary International sent a huge amount of money to help vaccinate every child within that area, and not one child got polio. This is why we need to have a war chest. This is why Rotary needs to keep up the fundraising. So should there be a spot fire to put out, Rotary can lead the charge and be there to help. Polio became an important issue to me when I was 4 years old, and I woke up one morning and couldn't move. I couldn't get out of bed. I remember clearly my mother and father calling the doctor and being placed in Birmingham Children's Hospital, where I was in isolation for about a year. I was lucky to live in a first world country. I don't want other children to be faced with this issue when it is eminently doable. Polio can be eradicated from the world. It takes the will of many, and it takes money. I've spent the last 3 years travelling the world fundraising. It's been absolutely fabulous. I've visited, I think it's 47 countries now. And the Rotarians have been great. They've been hosting me. But now I'm going to settle in Pakistan and really get involved. We're going to run polio events there. We're going to run World's Greatest Meals. We're going to do immunisation days. We're going to even do immunisation days where you can become involved when we go on live Facebook chat and donate money. All the money, of course, goes to the Rotary Foundation Polio Fund, where it's tripled by Bill Gates. This is really important. So for every $10 donated, tripled becomes 30, and then that saves 50 children from the pain of polio. Of course, in countries like Pakistan and India and Africa, they don't always have quite as much money as the other countries. And often you might see children on the streets begging, or even adults. People with polio have a brain. They need vocational training. Our club, the Rotary Club of Cairns Sunrise, has even been involved in a global grant in India, where we've partnered with the E-Club of Belgium to fund 50 corrective surgeries for polio kids. All these things are made possible through the Rotary Foundation. Even when polio is finished, these people are still going to be there. They still need help. The older post-polio people who live in many, many countries of the world, and the children who are growing up into adulthood need vocational training. I really think this is important. When we finish polio and World Health declare after 3 years of no cases, we still must continue vaccinating. We must vaccinate until we are 100% sure that this polio virus that has been around for more than 2 centuries is finally defeated. We are in a war against the virus. It's a war that we will win.